Angelo. When you learn, teach, and when you get, give. Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones. And being an educator at heart, I'm dedicated to sharing conversations that inform and enlighten in the hopes that you learn something you may not have known. So let me tell you, we have an exciting show today. I am so happy and so pleased that we have two fabulous guests here. They are hosts of shows here on Strong Island Television. So we're going to learn all about that, but we're also going to learn a little bit about them as well. So I'm so excited that they're in studio and they're going to be coming on in just a little bit. Before we get started with the show, I would like to thank our sponsors, our partnership sponsors. The first one is Nancy Vargas Johnson. She is a realtor, so if you are looking to buy or sell a home in the Long Island area, she is your woman. Also, D-Mac Bri Jiu-Jitsu System is another one of our sponsors. It's a non-profit jiu-jitsu system. It's a place where you can learn how to, do all the jiu-jitsu stuff. And they are located in Bayshore. And we also have Darby Home Healthcare as well. So without their support, I'm not able to bring the show to you. So we're excited and very happy and pleased that they're on board and supporting Conversations with Verdel Jones. I want to mention to everybody, if you could please share this video so everybody can see this live show and they can, be a part of Conversations with Verdel Jones. Also, to be a part of Conversations with Verdel Jones, we sell Conversations with Verdel Jones mugs as well. So if you are interested in purchasing a Conversations with Verdel Jones mug, you can go to my website, deliteach.com, and you can be part of the show. I always have them on set here so you can see what they look like, but that's a great picture of them. So make sure you pick up your mug. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about is our Write, Rhyme, and Recite Collective. We are having another Write, Rhyme, and Recite Collective on June 9th of next year. Last year we had this event, or actually this year we had this event, and it was, we were able to award $3,250 to students for participating in our Poetry Slam Scholarship. So they sent in their, a video of them reciting their poetry. We invited the top 3 students in to recite their poems, and then we selected first, second, and third prize. So we're doing it again next year. So I want you to save the date. We also had authors there as well. The authors were able to present their books, sell their books. It was just a really, really great event. We had awesome students, awesome authors. So make sure you save the date for that. We're always looking for sponsors to support our efforts in getting these students these scholarships, and we're going to add a music piece to it as well. We still working out the details with that, but I hope to add a music scholarship for students also. So if you are interested in supporting, you can always reach out to me through social media. If there's any authors there that might be interested in participating as well, we're looking for authors. So keep that date open, June 9th, Write, Rhyme, and Recite Collective. We also have started a new segment on Conversations with Verdel Jones. It's called the Educator Spotlight. And we have been able to honor 2 awesome educators. We had Venice Richards and we also had Billy Moss. They were both honored here as educators who are making a difference and making an impact in the community. And on January 3rd, our next show, we will have the nationally known, recognized educator, Dr. Steve Perry. He will be joining us. He has a new show that's coming on the Fox network, and he's going to be talking about that. So I'm excited to talk to Dr. Steve Perry again. I did interview him a number of years back when, about his schools and what he's doing and the work that he's doing in the community to help our students. So I'm so excited that he's coming back and we'll be able to interview him about his new show on Fox. I think it premieres January 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll be here January 3rd in our Educator Spotlight. So we are going to take a quick break, and as I said, I am so excited. We're going to have our first guest, Miss Stephanie Larkin, right here in studio. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, I am here with Miss Stephanie Larkin.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so
delighted.
excited that you're here. Yay!
Oh my gosh.
So we have a lot of Strong Island television representation here tonight. So I'm really excited. So thank you so much for being a guest on the show.
Thrilled.
So let me tell people a little bit about you. All right. So Stephanie is
lies. It's all lies.
And we were talking off camera, and
oh God, now I'm really in trouble.
The information that you share with me, you are the founder and president of the Red Penguin Books and Web Solutions, and you've been in business for a long time doing this.
I'm not that old.
You started when you were 12?
I started when I was 12. It's been 12 years now.
So it's a book and web publication company. She enjoys working with books of all genres and helping people unleash their inner author.
I love that. I didn't make that up.
You didn't make that up?
Rudy did.
Oh, see?
I have to give credit where credit is due. Rudy said, "You know what you should say?" And I said,
"I love it.
I do too. I've been saying it daily. Daily.
Yeah, he's good.
He gets a hug when he comes back."
You're also an author. You're a professor. You're a television host, right here on Strong Island Television. You're a professor, and I just found out you are a professor of marketing.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was very interesting,
love that.
Making that transition from, author.
And school ends in a week.
Right. Can't wait.
I love what I do, but by the end you're like,
right, exactly.
Projects.
Exactly. So now how many courses do you actually teach?
I mean, fortunately, because of the business and everything, I take 2 a semester.
Okay.
And they are so
That's
gracious
enough.
with my schedule
Right.
of putting them back to back.
Okay, nice.
Which is really nice. But I love seeing the kids.
Yeah.
I really, and I learn so much.
Right, yeah.
And, boy, I think I learn as much as I teach.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
I'm
do.
Sure. Yeah.
And
so you teach during the day, so you get the high school, the recently graduated students?
I do, but I also have adults in my classes.
Yeah.
For example, this semester I'm teaching a class in small business marketing and
Right.
management, and I have 18-year-olds, and I have people who are my age.
Okay.
I have
Right.
4 or 5 business owners in my class, which
great.
I love. These
Yeah,
are
absolutely.
grown-ups who wanted to learn more, and they came back to school, and now we have real-life examples in the classroom.
Exactly, right.
Which
yeah,
I
they bring that
adore.
experience into the classroom. And
And they keep me honest, because if I
Right.
say, you're supposed to do this, and he's like, yeah, I did that 4 years ago, and it didn't work. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Take that out of the notes.
Remove that.
But I do love what I do.
That's great.
Absolutely
that is
love
awesome.
it.
That is
and the
awesome.
18-year-olds, I learn all these things.
Yeah.
I did not
they
know,
keep
by
you
the
young.
way, that watching people play video games
Is a thing.
It's not only a thing, which I can't imagine watching a person play a video game. They have teams. They have national teams, and they refer to it as a sport, a spectator sport, and it is actually gaining more traction that it's going to pass basketball soon as a spectator sport.
Oh, man.
Not me. I can't imagine sitting down and being like, look at him go! He just killed that guy!
I don't get it. I don't get
it.
So let's talk about your business, Red Penguin Books and Web Solutions. How did you start this business? And like you said, you've been in business for 12 years.
I've been in business for a long time.
How did you start? Why did you start?
The way many businesses start, and it's very funny because I teach how to start a business, and you're supposed to think things through, and then examine different areas to see where your strong suits lie, and then you write up a business plan,
all of that.
Or you could do it. Let's be honest. A lot of people end up starting a business the way I did, which is by circumstance.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you're in the middle of the business. For me, the circumstance was that my husband was running an organization, and organizations have presidents, vice presidents, all that kind of stuff. And there was a treasurer, and the treasurer seemed to have helped himself to all of the money. All of it gone. Thousands.
That's not what a treasurer is supposed to do, right?
I have a feeling. And in the fallout of all of this, thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Kieran, my husband, looked across the table at me one night, and he said, "Oh gosh, not only was he the treasurer, he did the website. Now we have no website."
Oh, wow.
And I said,
it was a small organization.
and I said, "All right, honey, I'll buy a book." I loved technology and computers and the whole bit. So I bought a book, and I took care of their website, and then someone else said, "Will you do websites?" So I did their website. By the 10th website, I said, this is a thing. This is a
Wow.
lot of fun. I should do
It is
this.
fun.
So I incorporated, and the name Red Penguin, I should have brought something. But if you picture like Antarctica, all the penguins sitting there on the coast, and one of them is red,
Right.
that's the one you notice.
Right.
And I had this vision of a whole lot of similar objects and one being different, because our thing was stand out with Red Penguin.
Okay.
Not to mention, we had no money. You heard about the no money story. And red, white, and black. Those were our colors. So I got everything printed in black, and I just took a red Sharpie, and I just did one penguin. Red, ribbon.
Okay.
So everything was cheap. So I was doing websites and development, maintenance, hosting, social media, all sorts of, then it went into email marketing and digital marketing and promotional things. Next thing I know, I had a whole lot of clients who were authors. I was doing all their book promotions, and I was doing their ebooks and their digital books. I was working for the National Writers Union and I sat there one day and said, I love everything that we're doing, and it would be so much easier for my author clients if I just kind of went that extra step, applied for a publisher's imprint, and then I could do their print books also. I was
Right.
doing like 90%. And then I'd have to say, okay, now you better go hold somebody.
Right. Why not do it all?
Why
Yeah,
not do it all?
exactly,
And
exactly.
I absolutely love it. But you know what happens with businesses? It's never really what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I was envisioning, we'd become a publisher, very exciting, and that people would send us manuscripts
Right.
to publish.
Right.
They'll be all finished. and we do get those.
Yeah.
But literally 75% of the people who call didn't write the book
They
yet.
didn't write the book yet. Right.
I was shocked.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think you called the publisher until you wrote the book.
Right.
But all these people were like, I want to write a book. I'm like, so.
Oh. It's very different, isn't it? Right. Yeah. Go ahead. Because I totally understand what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
suddenly found myself becoming a book coach and a developer. I ended up writing a book
Wow,
called
nice.
Write That Book,
Write That Book.
which came out of the emails that I would send to all of my authors, leading them through the steps,
Right.
my author clients, and now you should do this, and now you should do this, and now you should do this. And I ended up publishing it. And it's very funny because it sells on Amazon and a lot. So this is not just a Long Island thing. People need to figure out how to write the book.
That's right.
And it's the majority.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if I get a finished manuscript, I'm
You're
actually
very
kind of
surprised,
shocked.
right? Yeah.
Nowadays, it's people
so true.
who want to write the
They
book.
want to write the book,
And I
think,
love that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So you do I guess it's ghostwriting.
Well,
Is that
ghostwriting is when you write the book for them.
You write
and
the
yes,
book for
I
them.
do
Okay,
that too.
you do that as well. Okay.
I kind of divvy it up. That there's the people who wrote the book.
Right.
There's the people who want to write the book. And then there's the people who need a book,
Right.
but they're not going to write that book.
Okay, right.
And they'll come to me and say, listen, I need a book about, and I'm like, well, that's nice. I can coach you through it. And they're like, yeah, no.
Really?
This is how to spell my name for the cover. And I'm like,
Really? So that's what ghostwriting is. It's actually literally writing the book.
And I don't want to terrify you and tell you that if you walk into a bookstore,
Right.
probably 80% of the books, well, especially books by
Really?
really busy people.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
celebrity books, okay, I
Right.
don't think they even read the book. Never mind wrote the book.
Really?
They did
That's
not
so
write the
interesting.
book.
Okay, so the book that's a hot seller right now, I have it. I started reading it, becoming.
I would love to think that Michelle Obama actually wrote that book.
It sounds like her.
It does.
Yeah,
it sounds
like her.
very much
Right,
like
right.
her. And she is a very, very intelligent and studied
person.
woman.
Right, exactly.
I'm thinking, and I do know the people who write a lot of these books, and they don't reveal, of
Right,
course,
okay,
who
okay.
wrote what. I would like to think that she wrote that book, or what the good ghostwriters will also do, especially with memoirs of somebody whose language needs to be in. They'll conduct
Right, you
a
want
series
their
of
voice.
interviews.
Right. Yeah.
And,
right, exactly.
She's very, very busy. Do I think that she literally sat there and typed
Right. No.
130,000
Yeah,
words? I
no,
really don't.
no, I don't think so
And,
either.
I'm not taking that away from her.
Right, but it is her voice. And
I
know
am
that-
sure she edited that book.
Yeah.
I'm sure that she was in on every
Oh,
single
yeah.
page of it, and
Oh,
I am
yeah.
sure that she did not let that book get published
Unless she
without
went
her
through it and she's
eyeballs
calm.
being
Exactly.
Whereas on the other hand, as I said, I'm sure there are many books out there that the author didn't even read.
Right.
I am sure she read and critiqued that
every
book.
single word.
I am sure of that. But if there's a book by Kim Kardashian out there, with all due respect,
She probably didn't write it.
And she didn't read it. But I know who did, but she won't say because she has discretion.
Wow. So how did this love of books come about? Like,
You
it
know,
was something you as a child, or
I think it went backwards because I actually have a daughter who is a creative writing student.
Okay.
And she's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And so
Wow.
I think I got it from my daughter. I know
Yeah.
that's not
No, I get
biologically
it.
possible, but I think it actually is, and I'm getting it from her. So I try to rub up next to her.
right, right,
And get it from
exactly.
her.
That's so
I
interesting.
mean, I loved going to school. I loved the whole act of it. Did I read all those books in high school that I was supposed to?
No.
Not really.
Right, yeah.
Cliff Notes. I admit it. And now it's very funny because on the show and now we're going to discuss To Kill a Mockingbird. And last, we did it a few weeks ago. And I'm like, is there a movie?
I need the abridged version.
But all of a sudden now, because we'll have authors on, and I really feel compelled to read. If I'm interviewing someone,
I totally agree. I do the same thing. Yeah.
So I find myself some weeks reading 4 books a week.
I know.
Which I love.
Yeah, yeah.
I absolutely love that I'm reading
You just
that
have to
much.
find the time to do it. But I agree. I think it's important for you to, like you said on your show, you read the book.
I did not just watch the movie for
You know?
To Kill a Mockingbird. No, I did not. I read the book because I want to be authentic.
Right.
If I'm going to tell other people you should read the book, then
You're going to read it.
I have to read
You
the
have
book.
to read it. You have to read it. So what's the hardest part, do you think, about writing a book?
The first word. Starting.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
starting. Once someone starts.
Right.
But it's just that when I meet people, I did a workshop yesterday. I call it a Write That Book workshop. And there were 40 people there, and some of them were sitting there for a decade wanting, I have all these ideas, and I've wanted to write this and they just start.
Right.
You
Just
know,
do it.
Just do it.
Right.
And people say I have no time. Okay, I have no time.
No one has time.
I wrote
right?
5 books this year. I had 3 under my name, 2 ghostwritten books. I have no time. But
Right.
if yes, if it's important to you, you'll make
You'll
the
do
time.
it, right.
But really, a lot of my coaching is cheering people on. It's not telling them anything that they didn't. They tell me.
Yeah.
And I tell them back. And they tell me, and I tell them back, and then I call them once a week and say, "So where's my chapter?" And then, but they just need support.
They need some support. Someone who understands what they're going through as well.
Right.
I know.
And I think people are scared to say, I'm writing a book because then everyone's going to be judgy because people are judgy. And I'm saying, you know what? I read recently that 90% of the people polled wanted to write a book. That's like the majority. So if you want to and you actually started, you're ahead of everybody.
Right.
So don't let anybody say to you, you can't. No, you can do it.
You can do it.
You can write that book.
So what services do you offer?
Well, it depends what stage they
You're
come
in.
to us
Okay.
in. From the extreme is the ghostwriting.
Right.
That they just send us a check.
And you
And then
write that book.
and we send them a book. So how many of those would you like?
Right, okay.
So that's like full service.
Right.
Down to people who already wrote the manuscript, they might need editing,
okay.
formatting, cover design,
Okay.
Laying things out, things that you don't even think about.
Right,
Like
exactly.
Like the margins of the book, and the margin in the middle has to be bigger than the margin on the outside to account for that.
Right.
That every chapter should start on the same side to get the, all these things that nobody thinks about
course
in
not.
laying the book out. And then we also do book promotions for people.
Oh,
so
okay.
sometimes we get authors who the book is already published. We're
Right.
not the publisher, but they say, listen, we want, we handle things like book reviews. That we send free copies to people who are book reviewers to make sure that we get book reviews.
Right.
Amazon, there's 2 billion books on Amazon, so you have to do certain things
To
try to
make
get
it
yours,
right,
get a
exactly,
little
the
bit
position,
higher.
right, yep.
Right. We run book signing events and speaking gigs and things like that. So depending on what you wanted, we do it
You
all,
got it.
and I love it. I love working
So
with
for all you
authors.
people who want to write a book out
want
there,
to write that
please,
book.
you got to contact me. So we are going to be talking about your television show here on Strong Island Television,
Which I
Between
love.
the Covers. I had the pleasure of being a guest, so we're going to talk about that in our third segment.
I can do that. I'm being quiet now.
So how can people reach out to you if they would like to get information about Red Penguin Books?
Sure. RedPenguinBooks.com. Penguin, by the way, has a Q. That's a thing. People keep making it a G.
I have a G in there. You know what? I did spell check and it's still came up with-
penguin, no G. I said it wrong. It's penguin with a G, not penguin with a Q.
Okay.
My God. So it's redpenguinbooks.com. Find us there, and let's start writing
that book. This is awesome information.
And I spelled penguin wrong on TV.
You did.
I better start eating
It's all right.
cheese.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have Mr. Rudy Breedy in studio with us.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. See you in a bit.
Dropping gems from Keisha Christian. She's on a mission, sharing information, knowledge for soul, body and mind. Dropping gems, KeishaGems.com. KeishaGems.com.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, we have Mr. Rude Boy himself, Mr. Rudy Breedy here in studio. Thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor to be here. I didn't think I'd ever make it here. I just, there's some people whose names shall not be spoken that don't think I'm intellectual enough to be here, but that's okay.
So let's tell people a little bit about you.
We will do that, but before we do that,
yes.
My mother and my wife said you never visit a lady without bringing a gift.
Oh, thank you.
So that is for you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
I appreciate you so
little
much more than you know.
Prosecco.
Well, I know we don't drink here, and I have my mug with my water.
I think I'm going to change that up.
Listen, you got to do it. So, what did you want to know,
that's
Ms.
sweet.
Verdel?
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So, let's tell a little bit about Rudy.
Sure.
He is the newly appointed Vice President of Programming here at Strong Island Television.
I appointed myself.
And you and we are going to be talking about that in our next segment.
Okay.
We're going to bring Stephanie back. We're going to talk about what's going on here at Strong
Stephanie's
Island. Shout out to Bobby.
That's the name that shall not be spoken.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's like Voldemort.
Exactly.
So Mr. Rudy has an extensive and celebrated career in the nonprofit sector. He is currently the Director of Development for Nassau Community College Foundation, and this challenging role, he raises critical funds for students' scholarships, campus enhancements, faculty development programs at the college. So you have a extensive background in nonprofits. Why did you get into nonprofits? Because you worked for the March of Dimes, the Boys and Girls Club.
I did. My initial career path was I thought I was going to be an attorney, and that just through the miracle of life did not work out.
Wow.
And I actually just fell into the whole nonprofit sector as a fluke.
Right.
But what had an impact on me was that the work that I did every day, whether it was collating, stapling, the boring drudgery things, had an impact and changed lives. And so for me, I live each day with how can I actually impact someone else's life positively. And so that job, in a sense, kind of gives me my fix. So I enjoy that, which is great.
And you stayed with the non-profit sector.
I changed over years the different
places,
demographics of who I was going to help. But overall, it's always about kind of making someone's condition better and making their life better. So I've always enjoyed that. It's been fantastic.
It really is.
Yeah.
And you know what? Can you help me dispel a misconception about nonprofits.
Sure.
Individuals think you're working for a nonprofit, you're not getting paid, or you're not making money, or
Okay.
how explain to people who are thinking about getting into the nonprofit sector why it is a good idea, and you do get a salary.
Yeah, well, depending on the nonprofit, yes, you do get a salary.
And I think people are under the misconception that that's not
well,
the case.
Yeah, well, that is true.
Yeah,
And actually,
yeah.
in the beginning, when I first started in the nonprofit sector, I believe the same thing.
Right,
I didn't think you
yeah.
draw a salary. I didn't think you do anything. So I was working for a corporate organization, and the nonprofit that I went to work for in the beginning was almost like a volunteer capacity. And I almost didn't want to work at that nonprofit because I was like, I'm never going to be able to live my life
Right.
or do anything or buy a pizza.
Right.
And it turned out that the
Right.
salary actually happened to be quite competitive. Now,
Yeah.
again, it depends on the size of the nonprofit
Right.
that you go to work for.
The funding or
and the
whatever they
funding
have.
and all that sort of
Okay.
stuff. But you can certainly make a competitive wage and live a good life by doing that.
Yeah,
And it's really been
absolutely.
fantastic. So I would encourage people. But you know what? Whether it's a nonprofit or even a corporate job, it's really about your mission. It's about what it is that
Yeah.
you want to do with your life and with
Right.
the energy that you have to expel in the world. So it really doesn't matter. Don't go into a nonprofit just for the money. Go into it because you want to serve, you want to help with the mission, and you want to advance things. That's the
Right.
key.
Yeah. So speaking of money, you are the director of development.
I am.
And a lot of people might not know what actually a director of development, or what it is to be
Sure.
in the development area of a nonprofit.
Yeah. Well, on paper, like you read before, I am responsible for raising funds for scholarships, campus enhancements, and faculty development programs. But basically, the way I break it down is that I develop opportunities. So I am the liaison between people and places that want to do something good with the opportunity to do that good. So meaning you have a wealthy benefactor who wants to provide an education for students who don't have the funding to go to school. I help connect them, help them work on developing, setting up scholarships or different avenues to help impact students in need. If the college campus needs to renovate a classroom that's dilapidated, I help with the critical funding to make that happen, or try to form a partnership through some corporate builders or things like that to kind of donate their services and all that stuff. So I like to say that I help make opportunities happen.
Right. Absolutely. How hard is it to get money from people?
You know what? Overall, it is challenging, but I tend to find what I like to call the cheerful givers, the people who actually want to give.
Right.
It's harder to get the money from people if they're not connected to your mission. And
Okay.
I think that whether it's here trying to, and I'm sure you know this, trying to find advertisers for your show, or a nonprofit trying to find donors,
Right.
if someone doesn't want to give and doesn't believe in what you're doing, then it's going to be very tough.
Yeah.
But if they believe in your mission, if they believe in your show, if they believe in your network, then obviously
Right.
it's going to happen. So the key to that is not trying to put the square peg in the round hole. You have to
That's a
really
great
make sure
point.
that it
I
fits.
love that. I love that. Just as in the beginning, I was talking about the Write, Rhyme, and Recite collective that I
Yes.
had with the scholarships, and I did find it difficult to get sponsors for it. My dad did journal. He got a lot of journal ads from me, but he beats people up, not
Okay.
literally, but
Well, I saw him play baseball, so I mean, yes. If you haven't had a chance, go to her Facebook page. Her dad is swinging. I mean,
He is.
Yes.
73, 74 years
listen,
old. You know.
his 73 was my 40 something.
And so he's just a salesman, so he can get that.
Correct.
But I really did find it difficult to, I guess, what you were saying, get the mission of what I'm trying to do across.
Correct.
And I think one of the other keys is building those relationships.
Absolutely.
So if you don't build those relationships,
Yes.
it becomes
Well,
a
relationships,
lot
and honestly,
difficult.
they take time.
They
and
take
again, whether
time,
it's a
yes.
show, it's a network, it's a charity, it's a cause,
Right.
it takes time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, time is the luxury a lot of us don't have. We need the funding now, we need the advertisers now,
Right.
we need whatever it is now.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's worth it in the long haul to build those relationships and also to find people that are a good fit for what it is you're trying to do. So I do recognize that it probably was difficult,
It
without
was.
your dad to do it, but
Yeah.
you got to look. They are out there. There's a lid for every pot. And
That's
you just
right.
gotta
Yeah.
take the time to look under the cabinet
Yeah,
in the back.
that's
in the
right.
back.
And I think sometimes it's what you're doing is not proven. So that was my first year.
That is hard, yes.
And they're like, this woman wants money, and I wasn't a nonprofit, so it's like, I'm not giving her money.
Yeah, I don't know. Her, yeah, exactly.
She could do anything with this money.
Exactly.
But my dad, what he was able to do is the relationships that he's built through the community. They trusted him.
Absolutely.
So it is difficult. I think finding, like you said, the people,
The right people.
the right people, exactly.
Because for the most part, you can get almost anyone to give once. It's
Right.
that repeat gift,
Yes.
and it's that long-term
Right.
gift. That's the true challenge.
Exactly,
And in terms of
exactly.
development or anything else, that's the hardest part. So
Right.
that's where it's stuck.
So, what type of creative things have you done to raise funds? You know,
Oh,
because
sure.
it's not only people just giving you money, but there's
Yeah.
also things that you can do.
Yeah,
to raise
I mean, over the
funds.
course of the years, there have been a lot of great things. Some of the ones that I'm most proud of recently were that at the Nassau Community College Foundation, there's a college campus radio station, 90.3 WHBC, where you
Yes,
were kind
that
enough to
was
come
so
be a guest
much
at one
fun.
point. That was a lot of fun. We were able to develop a business show. It's called Tower Talk Business Radio, where we have volunteers who are corporate executives who work with myself at the foundation, who actually are co-hosts, and they interview different business executives on that radio show.
Okay.
And what's really fantastic is that they're able to get executives of very high level to come through the door, be folks on the radio show. While they're there, since I'm the executive producer for that, I get a chance to talk to those folks. And people who normally would not return my call or I couldn't get to, you know, it's actually happening. So most recently, the CEO of Zwaranga Pasiri is literally sitting there in a chair in the hallway and waiting to be on the radio show. And I have this uninterrupted time to talk to him.
Right.
And it was great because it turned into something wonderful for us.
Yes.
So that sort of stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's that face-to-face contact.
Well, right, but you can't always get to that
Can't
face
get
because
that,
you've got the receptionist
Right.
or whoever who's
right.
got the anti-Rudy sign at
That's
the front
right.
and you can't
Calling
get in.
security.
Completely. They learned from our station CEO here.
What is the most challenging part about working for a nonprofit?
I don't know if I would say a nonprofit, but the most challenging thing for me is time. Again, it's the luxury that I just don't have. And I suffer from this awful affliction of not really being able to say no.
Yeah.
I love opportunity and I love challenges, so
I
I'm always
understand.
taking on something new. So literally my day begins with like running to the gym early in the morning, then running into the office to do my development work, then running over to a radio station to do shows, coordinating some things here at Strong Island, working with the great Stephanie who does her show files, and then every Wednesday night I have my own mass confusion show.
What you're going to talk about?
Oh
so
gosh,
much
it's
fun.
a mess. So there's just never enough time, and trying to find
Right.
a balance, and then I suffer. I think like a lot of people, unfortunately, is I always feel like I'm falling a little short. I'm never quite giving
my goodness.
my all.
Yes.
So it's you know, you have everyone say, "Oh my gosh, you just did a great job. You did this, that," and
Oh
all
my
I see
gosh.
sometimes are the things I could be doing better.
Oh my
and
gosh,
so
that's
it's-
my
yeah.
life.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's what. But that's the reality.
So
of
it's
it.
such,
Yeah.
you know, because you know. Like you said, people tell you, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, you're wonderful.
Right, it's
You're
amazing.
great.
How do you do it all? It's
How do
amazing.
you do it all?"
And I'm like, you didn't see the pile of laundry. You don't know that I couldn't make it to the supermarket.
That's right.
My kids are the last ones to get picked up. My wife's on the verge of divorcing me. Hi, Gretchen, I love you. And it's just, it's a challenge. It's the balance.
But you want to do more. Like
Yeah.
I suffer from the same thing. I'm never good enough.
Yes,
and
exactly.
what is that about?
I don't know. I like to blame my mother, who's watching too. Hi, Mom.
What is that about? So before we talk about the show, because we are going to talk about the show, but one of the interesting things that I saw in your longer bio was you went to the London School of Economics.
I did.
Like, what was that about?
Well, you know, again, it's kind of never saying no to opportunities and
Okay.
stuff. I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from college, and what was great is I like to think that, you know, my trajectory inspired the rest, because my brother went off to
Yes.
graduate,
Nice.
and my mom and my dad went on to graduate later on, which
oh
is
my goodness,
fantastic.
that's
And my mom
great.
graduated from Old Westbury.
Oh, right. Very
and
nice.
So at one point in time, I mean, I didn't know anything about going abroad or
Right,
London school,
right.
so there was a great opportunity where like they had a recruiter there and said, "Would you like to do this?" And I said, "Okay." So filled out this paperwork, still didn't really know what it actually meant. And the next thing I know, I'm on a plane and I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? And then I'm literally in London at, you know, the London School of Economics. And that didn't mean anything to me at the time. It sounds
Right.
great now, but
Yeah.
at the time I'm like, okay, I'm just here and
Right.
I'm like waiting, looking around for Princess Diana or something. But, you know,
Right.
it was just an amazing opportunity. So
Yeah.
it was a great experience.
You
to
have to
actually live
take
abroad.
those. Yeah, you have to
do.
take those opportunities
Yeah.
as small as you think they may be.
Correct.
You know, they turn into a great experience.
Well, and they
so.
did, because it really had helped expose me to life beyond Long Island, New York,
Right.
and
Right.
this whole other world, and just a lot of, it just kind of raised my social consciousness, which was fantastic.
Nice,
So it
that's
was a good thing.
awesome.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it.
So we are going to be talking about everything that's going on here at Strong Island Television. You know, why you guys got into media, and so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to bring Stephanie back on, and we're going to all
back.
chat.
Yay!
Looking for a way to promote yourself or business? Do you need a quick and easy way for your clients or audience to see what you're about? Myanmar Productions is the solution to your promotional needs. A video on a landing page can help increase conversions by 80% or more. And marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. With our personal attention to detail, we will create a video that will help you promote yourself or business professionally and attract the attention of potential customers. 64% of consumers make a purchase after watching branded social videos, and an initial email with the video receives an increased click-through rate by 96%. We create videos for business owners, authors, speakers, and more. From storyboarding and voiceovers to editing, Myanmar Productions will work with you to create a promotional video that will increase your visibility and generate revenue. Family is our foundation, and with Myanmar Productions, our family is there for you. For a free consultation, contact us at myanmarproductions@gmail.com or call us at 516-289-4947.
Hello, we are back with Stephanie and Rudy. Strong Island represent.
Yes, in the house. Full of
I
that.
love that.
So, welcome back, everyone. And again, thanks for tuning in to Conversations with Verdel Jones. Both of you host your own show here at Strong Island Television.
We do.
And they are fabulous. I mean, they
thank
are
you.
Thank
so
you.
much fun.
Thank you.
And innovative and really with both of you here at the network, it's really exciting. Bring a lot of energy.
That's pretty mildly.
which is always good, which is
Yeah.
always good. So, Rudy, tell us a little bit about what your show is about.
Wow, how do you
Name
put that
and
into
what it's
words?
about.
Sure. Okay, well, it's Rudy's Room, and the ultimate goal is that we're designed to be the 1 hour break in the viewer's day. So we all deal with a lot of stuff. There's family drama, there's this political world that we all live in, and there's just
Very
what
true.
we call life.
Yeah.
So the idea behind it is to just laugh a little, just be free. If you want to, people dress up a little bit. If you want to dress up and wear some outfit that's too much, bring it to the show. We have a studio audience. If you
Fun.
want to talk
Lot of
about,
fun.
some ridiculousness, the life of the Kardashians, we do that as well. It's really just escaping for a moment. And the thing I'm most proud of is that I'm meeting people as I go out now, in the area.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I literally last night went to an event in Long Beach, and some woman approached me and says, "You're Rudy from the Facebook show." And I said, "Yes." And she says, "My friend shared your show to my page, and I watched it,
Yeah.
and it was just such a great escape late at night while I laid in bed." And I'm like, and that to me
Yes.
was the whole purpose of
Right.
it. So I really enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
it's a lot of fun. Last night, my daughter and I, we were watching the
Okay,
show.
yes.
And she loves you, by the way.
Oh, I
and we
love
were
her.
just, we were just cracking up. And it's true. It is a nice break in the day of, just fun.
Yeah, just
Just
something
fun. And the people that you have on, you some of them you have to loosen up a little bit
They
to get
do.
them going.
They do. It takes a minute. It takes a minute. Well, you know what it is. Yeah, they do. A little liquor helps with
Little
that.
libation.
The other part about this is that, you guys are good, and Stephanie's so fantastic as well, is that you guys kind of give your guests a bit of prep, so they know kind of what to expect. I thrive on the whole thing being unexpected.
Right, yes.
And initially it began because I always felt like, okay, if I share with you whatever the game is going to be or whatever the questions are going to be,
Yeah, you'll have it
the way my
rehearsed.
mind works, you'll have it
Yeah,
rehearsed,
that's
or
right,
the way
yeah.
my mind works is I'm going to mess it up anyway and not do that, as our station
I've been on
CEO
Rudy's
says.
show when he said,
Yeah.
and here's the question. I'm like, oh God.
Exactly.
I'm afraid, what is it going to be? What is it
Terrified.
going
What is
to
it
be?
going to be?
So we like it to be unrehearsed, and the other
Right.
part about that is that people give you an actual, true,
Well, I've heard
real
people say
answer.
things that I'm saying,
I can't believe
Wow,
they
I
said
can't
that.
believe they
Yes.
said that.
Yeah, it's
Oh
amazing.
my goodness. So Stephanie, tell everybody a little bit about your
Sure.
show, Between the Covers.
Between the Covers, a very sexy
I love
name.
the name.
A very
do.
sexy name for a book show.
It is.
I tagline it, the show for readers, writers, and lovers of books. So we are you know, my job, I think my mission with the show is to make reading cool.
And
Yeah.
you do.
You know,
Very
I
much
really
so.
want to make reading cool. And we have on authors,
Yeah.
and you know, like, they're normal people. And I'll
Right.
say to them, because they'll often say beforehand, will I be doing a reading? And I say, I know, you don't understand.
It ain't that kind of show.
I say, you know, my
great.
goal is
It's
for
awesome.
people to meet you as a person.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because if they meet you as a person,
Yeah.
as an author and as a person, they're
connect.
going to want to read your book.
Right,
I don't want this
exactly.
whole stodgy interview thing going on. And I want the authors to talk about what they're reading now. I want people to go home and say, you know what, that guy looked cool. I want to be cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a
I'm gonna
book.
Yeah. It's true. It's very
That's the
true.
goal.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments on the show so far was I was asking my author guests, you know, a favorite book, and they would bring the book with them.
Right.
And one of my authors, he writes, you know, like horror. You know, he was covered with tattoos and the whole bit. And he whips out To Kill a Mockingbird. I keep having
right.
To Kill a Mockingbird. And he said, you know, I didn't read it in high school, but I read it last year, and I get why it's. And I was like, you are like a commercial for my
Right.
show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Because other people say, I gotta read that book, man.
That's
See what
right.
that book
Look
is
at
all
this guy.
about. Yeah, look at that guy.
Right.
I
It's
love
true.
that. And we've had fabulous authors. And you're talking about being recognized. Well, I have been contacted by authors around the world now.
I think that's impressive.
It is.
When it
you,
first
you had someone
started-
from
London.
I have to Skype them
Okay,
in.
right, absolutely.
When it first
yeah.
started, I figured I know authors.
Right.
I'll call
You
the
know,
people
yeah.
I know.
Right.
And then they'll call somebody, and then I ended up putting a little form on the website. And next thing I know, I'm like sending someone directions to Strong Island, and they're like, "I'm in Michigan," and then I get one from Liverpool.
That's
amazing.
awesome.
So I
that is so
love
cool.
that.
Yeah,
Very
I
cool.
think that's
Great
amazing.
show.
You know,
lot
so
of
hopefully
fun.
we're spreading the world.
Yeah.
We are. We
That's
definitely
awesome.
I
are.
love
That's
that. Now I did
awesome.
bring something for you. Maybe not nearly as nice because you just want to show me up. But we have between the covers membership cards.
I would love one of those.
And well, Verdel was
Whoa.
actually on
Thank
the
you.
show.
Oh, wow.
Rudy wasn't, but Rudy is everything.
Rudy is everything.
I have not been
Rudy-
invited to be on
Rudy
the
is
show.
Rudy is everything, and Rudy will be on the show, no
Oh, okay.
doubt.
No
we have to get it
pressure.
up to that. But you're between the club covers membership card, which entitles you to borrow books because we have a library now.
Oh,
All of our
nice.
authors, I asked
Okay.
them
We
to
have a
bring.
library?
Yes.
I did not know that. Okay.
Every author that's on the show, I ask them
Okay.
to bring a book
Right.
for so that
Gotcha.
people can borrow them and read these
Oh,
books. It also entitles you
very
to join us for a glass
nice.
of wine and be
Oh,
in
now
our
you
audience.
Oh,
There
now
you
they
go.
right. There you go. There you
And
go.
I also wanted to bring you, this
That's
was a book
nice.
that I had written because I needed something to tell people, you know, when I first started publishing, like, oh, these are what margins are, or
Right.
this is what a font is. So I'd put together, and you're a celebration guy,
Yes.
365 reasons to celebrate, and there's a
Nice.
holiday for each day.
Oh, yes.
So like
I remember
today
that. Yes.
is National Cocoa Day.
Very nice.
Oh,
Monkey
I love
Day.
that. That
This
is
is
awesome.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh, I
you.
love
Good.
it.
I got
Celebratory people.
do.
And you get a library
Library card.
I love it.
a
Yay.
between the covers club card. And Rudy will be on because
I would love to be on.
Yeah,
now
he has a card.
between the
I
covers
have a
club
between the covers club
card.
card, so I've got to be on.
And we serve wine.
Absolutely. There you go. I do have to say, since I have this platform at the moment, Verdel, I want to say to you, thank you so much for heaping the praise that you do upon our shows. Your show is so inspiring
thank
and
you.
so enlightening.
There are reasons why we call
And
it the intelligence.
It is the intelligence show. No, it's true. And even though he whose name shall not be spoken
That's right.
says you are
Voldemort,
the
yes.
most educational show, you
We
actually
do,
are
but
the
we
most
do.
educational
Ooh, we both
show.
said today we're going to
We
be on
do.
the Smarty
I
Band
know,
show.
the smart show. I had to get my glasses. I had to be serious.
Had to dress.
I
I
would
really
dress
appreciate
appropriately.
that. I really,
You-
really
yeah,
do.
well, I
Thank
see
you.
what you do, and I watch
Absolutely.
your show, and it really just uplifts and inspires me, and I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
I love that, and from the moment that we first connected, kind of through Facebook,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, because I was watching you before that,
Right.
And to hear you like, oh, I watched your show, I'm like, no way, there's no way this smart, intelligent lady is watching my Kardashian nightmare and Kanye West craziness, and she was,
And
I
she
thought
was
it
on my
wonderful.
show and brought
That's
the
right.
whole level right up.
She did. She
very
did. It was
excited.
great. She did. And then you came and you were a guest on mine, and it
It
was
was fun.
amazing. It's one.
So
actually,
much
yours
fun.
is my favorite show, and I love the game that we played with
The
you.
game was so much
That was
fun.
amazing.
Oh my
So we
goodness,
will
it
be
was so
doing
much
that
fun.
again.
So much fun. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I need to have a game. Maybe
Oh.
I need to have a game. I don't know.
I
You
have one of
guys
these
are very
big wheels
creative.
that I spin. You can borrow it.
So how did you, Rudy? Well, I'll ask you first. How did you get started doing this? Like, what made you want to do Rudy's Room?
I had a radio show over at 90.3 WHPC, which is the college radio station at Nassau Community College.
Right.
And the idea was, again, just to have a little fun for about an hour to kind of relax and do stuff.
Right.
I'd never heard of Strong Island TV before.
Okay.
I actually came here because I had to do a pre-interview with someone who's going to be a radio guest on my show. And so that particular person, I just had a hard time connecting with, but they were scheduled to be here on Dre's house.
Oh,
and
yes,
so
okay.
The person said to me, well, I know we haven't connected, but if you come and to Strong Island TV, you can be a guest, and see me and we can talk. I'm going to be on Dre's house. And I thought, one, what is Dre's house?
Right.
And two, where is Strong Island TV?
Right, yeah.
And so I used the navigation and got all lost.
Of course.
And eventually found it.
That's always the thing.
And I came in, I'm like, this strange, interesting place, and he whose name shall not be spoken was here. He's the only person at the time. And he was interesting, and we just talked and chit-chatted, and I thought it was great. And there's just something about this place. It felt like home.
Yeah.
And everything that I was kind of doing on the radio, I was like, okay, let me come and do it here.
Wow.
And what was really interesting, I'm not going to take all the time because I want Stephanie to tell her story, was that I kept saying to he whose name shall not be spoken that, okay, I know that I can be a lot, and I know that my show is going to be a little different than anything you've ever done before. And he was relatively calm. It's okay, it's fine, it's all right. That first show, he was screaming at me. We had I swear 30 people here, some guy in a mink coat. I was wearing these bright silver pants. It was just a whole
It was a lot.
mess.
It was a lot.
And he came up to me and he said, you can't take over the whole station. It was basically like, know your place. And I said to my wife, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to have a second episode. I think that's the end of that. And the show wrapped, it kind of ended, and we kind of went our separate ways. And then later on, he was like, oh, it was a really funny show. And I'm like, okay, you're not mad at me anymore. And
He got over it. He got over it
as much as he gets over it. But here we are, 17 episodes later.
Right,
so.
yeah. Wow, that many. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, which is great,
That's
so.
awesome. And why did you decide
Well, I'm here
to,
because of Rudy. Rudy and I met over at the college at a business networking meeting.
We did.
Which when I tell the
okay.
story, and I don't know if Rudy knows this, was probably one of the worst business networking meetings I have ever been to.
Yes.
It was one of these things somebody gave me a flyer and I said, oh, I'm at the college anyway. I can have my free glass of wine.
Right.
And you'll see in the story that I do just about anything for a free glass of wine.
There you go.
So I walked into this meeting and there were
kind of girl.
4 people running the meeting and 3 people attending it.
Yep.
This was a networking meeting.
Yeah.
And I was already, unfortunately, they saw me. I would have just,
Someone caught
but
you.
someone was like, oh, welcome. And I'm like,
I'm stuck. I
know.
remember.
You remember? And I was
remember.
like,
That's so funny.
God, okay, so where's the wine at least?
It was
Because
so bad. I was sitting in the corner just waiting. All
it
right.
was awful. It was awful. And I'm texting my husband. He's like, you're coming home for dinner. I'm like, I'm trying. It's so small and it's so awful. I can't get out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right, yeah.
And I met Rudy.
Yep.
And afterwards, we were emailing back and forth and
Absolutely.
such. Next thing I know, Rudy had said to me, listen, I'm producing this show, another show that
Yes.
needed a guest. Would you be a guest? I think he just knows that I'll go any place for a free glass of wine.
She's great.
So,
Yeah.
next thing I know, I'm here at Strong Island
Okay.
on someone
Which you
else's
hadn't
show,
heard of.
which I
Okay.
never heard of
Never-
and I
right.
couldn't find with the whole
Right,
CBS
yes.
thing and everything.
Yep.
So here I was as a guest. Next thing, a week or two later, Rudy writes to me and he says, would you be a guest on my radio show? Is
Okay.
there wine?
Yes.
I'm on the radio show.
Unfortunately, there wasn't. We weren't
okay.
allowed.
And then Rudy says, he was launching Rudy's Room.
Right.
Would I be a guest on Rudy's Room? I said, boy, you're just really shorthanded. I mean,
pulling
you're
it. Right.
desperate if you keep asking me for these
She's
things.
so much energy. How could you
A lot of
not?
energy, right?
Yeah.
So I come on to Rudy's Room and I'm like, sure, whatever. And at the end of the episode I was a guest on, Rudy and he who shall not be left named
That's right. That's right.
came up to me and said, my God, we love you. Would you do a book show? And I'm like, duh. Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that evening, though, was when I went home and I said to Kieran, he said, how'd it go, my husband? And I said, they want me to do a show. And he said, do you have time for that? And I said, oh. I said, no.
No,
Right.
but.
But I said yes.
She said yes. She said yes, and it's been amazing.
I signed a contract.
So
She
I'm doing
did.
it.
She
So I'm
did it.
doing
Yeah.
it. I guess I should have thought of that
I know.
sooner.
It was
goodness.
But
phenomenal.
too late now, and it has been phenomenal.
It has
and I'm
been
getting to meet
amazing.
the most amazing.
Is-
And these
that is
4 books
one of
a
the
week
best
I'm
parts,
reading.
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Like things I would have never read, and I'm
Exactly.
reading, and
So
I'm meeting
true.
these crazy people that I adore, and thank you, Rudy.
Well, thank
Well,
you
so the
guys.
worst networking meeting I was ever at led to this.
Isn't
All
that
of
something?
that the same.
So it's a good thing I got out of the car.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. And
So
me not
go
being
to
able
those
to connect.
networking meetings.
Yeah. Go to those networking meetings. And
You never know.
You
You
never
don't
know.
know.
Never know.
Every day is a new opportunity. Me not
That's
able to
right.
connect with someone who was going to be a guest here led to me being here.
Right.
If we-
Right. Absolutely.
If that person had said, let's just do it by phone, and I did it, I would never
you
be
would
here.
never.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's so true. It's so true.
right.
Yeah.
You know, it's so great that you guys found this place in that way, and you've been doing your shows for a few months now,
Right.
at
Yeah.
least,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Where do you see your show going? You're national now. I mean,
Yes.
Rudy's a
Could I
national.
touch you?
I still have to take out the garbage at home. It's
You know, Rudy is now national talk show host.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
right?
you.
I mean,
Again, that is
Absolutely.
I have to confess that actually was just an amazing opportunity as well. We had a guest on the show who shared it.
Wow.
Like we ask all of our guests to do
Right.
that. So those of you watching right now, please
Please
like
share
and
this.
share
Yes.
this show. What literally happened was the guest shared my show, and someone that they shared it with, I guess, shared it with someone else who happened to be watching. I get a Facebook message from someone who asked if I'd give them a call, which I wound up doing. And then we talked on the phone, and the person said that they were with a TV network and they loved what it was I was doing. Would I be interested in having my show be on
Wow.
a Comcast cable network?
So awesome.
Whoa,
And I thought,
fabulous.
wow, I'm like, are you the right person? Are you sure? Is this a prank?
Who is this?
And I thought it
this
was
really?
so amazing. and it took off, and it really went that way.
Yeah.
And now what's really also exciting is that myself and he, whose name we're not mentioning, we are continually being told by people that they're tuning in. So there are other cable networks now that are watching us and watching the
That's
Strong
awesome.
Island programming.
Fabulous.
And I also get a kick out of when I watch things like your show or your show, because you can see on Facebook who else is actually watching.
Right.
Some of the most interesting people are tuning in, and that is phenomenal. Whether it's the CEO of Schnepp's Communications that's watching, or I have relatives in other states, or one of the executives from the cable network that I'm on has actually been watching your show lately, and they started to pick up on yours. So that is just so amazing.
It
It's
is.
really
It's
the
great.
It's
connectivity.
amazing.
It
The
is.
world is so
Yeah.
small.
It
It
really
really
is, isn't it? So, Stephanie, the same thing. Where do you see, and well, really, where do you see your show going? Like, what do you, when I started doing it, and I've been doing the show for a number of years, and I always would ask myself, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I never found, it wasn't to make money.
Right.
But, now I need to start making some money. Enough of that.
Amen.
But because I really loved it, I loved meeting the people. I have met some amazing people over the years I've been doing the show.
Yep.
But I would often say to myself, "What am I doing? Where am I going with this?" So where do you hope to take your show?
Well, I'm so thrilled to be meeting so
Yeah.
many people
Yep,
and being
absolutely.
able to shine a light on authors and reading. And as big as we can shine that light,
Yeah.
if we can bring it to a national stage to be able to bring these authors to a wider circuit, great. And more importantly than that is getting people to read.
Absolutely.
Because,
Yeah.
for all of my authors that I work with and all those authors out there, if people don't read,
Yeah.
and we really need to make reading cool again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so on whatever platform I can get that message out. It started kind of as a selfish, I love being on TV.
Right.
And also like, oh wow, I get to feature my clients, But
It's turned into so much more.
but it's so
right?
much more
Yeah,
than that.
completely.
It's not
Yeah.
about me being on TV, and it's not about just my clients
Your
getting
little-
exposure.
yeah, exactly.
90% of the people who are on the show are not my clients.
Right.
They're people that have heard about it and are writing fabulous, important works
Right.
that need to be
Absolutely.
brought out, but reading needs to be brought to the forefront. So now I want the platform. Before it was like selfish, but now I want the bigger
That's right.
platform
Correct.
because I want people to get excited
It
about
becomes
reading.
a purpose. It really
is.
does.
It does.
My focus is getting information out to people that they may not have known about.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yours is having people have a good time.
Yeah,
And just,
absolutely.
Forgetting their troubles for
that's
a
right,
little
that's
bit.
right.
Yeah.
So it does. It becomes such a passion, and a mission, you know, and
Absolutely.
you know, all unique, you know, shows
Very
that we
different.
have, but
Yeah.
you know, they all serve a purpose.
They do.
you
The other
know?
thing that I'm loving about, in my opinion, the energy that's taking place here at Strong Island is that all of our shows are complementing one another. I
yes.
love when
Yeah.
I can tune into
Right.
your show and see someone who might have been a guest on mine being
Right.
silly, but then being serious.
Yes.
Or they go on yours and they're talking about books and the reading.
right.
And I love that we're able to,
Yeah.
not to say recycle, but repurpose, if you
Right,
will,
right,
each
right.
person,
Absolutely.
and show that there are so many facets to these different people.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's just amazing to see the different layers. So
It
I'm loving
is.
that.
It
Which
really
is great.
is. So, as the let's see, the self-proclaimed VP of programming.
Oh yeah.
I may not have that title if I don't say his name at some point, but yes.
What's on the horizon, or what do you envision?
Sure. Well, I mean, what's really fantastic is that we're adding a multitude of unique and really exciting programming. So for those of you who haven't had a chance to see it, we have Shape Up Strong Island, which is the 1-hour workout program. And that has a series of different physical fitness experts who lead you through a 1-hour workout that you can do right at home in your room, all on your own. We are launching, we tune into that, which is great. We're launching a dating show. Yes, it's going to be
nice.
It's going to be the Strong Island version of the dating game. So we'll have 3 single people here,
Oh, that's
one
awesome.
person
Lord,
in
I
the
wanna be on
front.
that.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. So, Marcus and Maya, you will be on the thing.
I would love to have them on. Yes, and
I know
so
my kids are gonna
yes.
want to be on.
The twist of all of
I
this
love
is
it.
that neither person or persons can see one another.
Oh,
so
it's
if
like
you're
the
one of
real
the participants,
dating game.
correct, the others won't see you as well.
I love
And
it.
the person on the couch getting connected can bring one lifeline, one friend. So a mom, you could be there
Right.
with them to help ask the
To help them.
questions
Okay,
of the
okay.
folks, which is going to be fantastic. So we're doing that.
amazing. Oh, I love
we
it.
have plans in the works for a cooking show, which is fantastic.
nice.
And then we have the Strong Island Shoppers Showcase, which
Right,
is
yes, which
basically
was
our
awesome.
own version of
Yep.
QVC or Home Shopping Network.
That was great.
And we are in talks right now with the folks at Roosevelt Field and Nassau Coliseum for a special 1-day broadcast, and you all will hopefully be a part of
Oh,
that.
love that.
Which is good. Yes, and we're launching a magazine that I hope you two will be involved in.
a magazine.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So we have one of our co-editors, and we're hoping somebody else will be
Yes,
another
we're hoping
co-editor.
she's gonna be the other
We really
co-editor.
do. There's a lot of great stuff going
Yeah.
on here at Strong Island.
And you know what? It's even though you know people can see our shows anywhere.
Right.
Long Island is such a great resource. There's so many great people here. It is a diverse island with a lot of different people, socioeconomic, you know,
Yep.
ethnicity,
Cultural,
cultural,
religious,
everything.
yeah.
And it's really nice that we are able to bring all of those people here to
Amen.
watch, you know, what we're doing.
Absolutely,
You know, so
absolutely.
it's great.
Not to
Yeah.
mention through the magic of Skype, we
That's
can
right.
Yes,
join.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
It really
it's
is.
amazing.
It
Yeah,
really is.
and
So-
we're touching lives.
So Rudy, when does your show come on?
My show is Wednesday nights from 10 to 11.
And Stephanie?
And Between the Covers is on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8, because by 10 o'clock we're tired.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm tired. I'm tired.
So you can read your book between
Yes.
8 and 10.
That's
and then you have
Exactly,
to
yeah.
watch it.
Oh, well, I'm taking my disco nap usually. So.
Well, I want to thank the both of you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having
so
us.
On
much.
Conversations with Verdel Jones.
It's
this has really been awesome.
You have been awesome.
You know,
You
and
are
just
awesome.
getting
You
to
are
know a little
everything.
bit more about
It's
you.
been phenomenal.
So
Thank you.
I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yes, absolutely.
And I want to thank everybody for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones, and we will see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.